Oh man, the summer, the rain. That's all it's been doing. All season, it's just been raining. Every day it's raining. Every morning it's raining. All I see is rain. What's going on, guys? Welcome. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Thursday. This beautiful Tuesday. Fuck, man. I'm recording this on a non-Tuesday. I'm recording this on a Thursday. What's been going on? How's everyone doing out there? How's everyone enjoying this season? Fuck, I should restart. No, I won't do that. How's everyone enjoying this beautiful year that we've been experiencing together? Experiment. I would just say this has been an experiment, dude. This whole year has been an experiment. This whole month has been an experiment. August is the fastest moving month I have ever been part of, and I've been part of it 23 times. This is the 23rd. This is the number one out of the 23 fastest months I've ever experienced of August. It just keeps on moving every day. It's just you wake up. It seems like the same thing every day. You know, honestly, this is what my days consist of. Monday to Thursday. I wake up. I'm up at 5. I'm running by 5:45. Depending on how long I run, it's either between 30 minutes to an hour. I'm back home by 6:45, 7. Sometimes I was stopping at Wawa to get coffee when it was $1 on coffee, so I was getting it for $1.06, and then they bumped that sucker up by 95 cents, which over a 7-day period is $7, which over, a year, it's over like $350. So I decided to stop doing that. So I stopped getting Wawa coffee. Now I just drink it at the house where it's a lot cheaper. I've been pinching my pennies everywhere. Everywhere I go, I've been saving so much money lately. Like, that's my one goal. I'm not the most pessimistic person, but with everything happening, you have gut feelings. And I think the gut feelings are the feelings that you have to really expand upon, and I have a gut feeling that, which I don't think my gut feelings is special, but I just think these next 2 to 5 years are going to be rough. I think they're going to be hard. And I really do believe if you, and I'm just repeating myself, but fuck it, I don't care. If you have a job, if you have some sort of entry-level job, if you have a job that, is probably not the best job for you, for whatever reason, just keep it and keep working and keep saving money as much as you can. If you're collecting unemployment, use that shit super wisely. Don't be buying like crazy shit. Just be really smart. I've even been planning out like my drives lately on where I'm going. My runs, I used to drive about 20, 25 minutes across the Bay Bridge to go running every day, and I don't do that anymore. Like, I've been only driving 10 minutes away, just to save gas. Like, look, I'm not a pessimist, but at the same time, I'm an everyday person just like you who's listening to this podcast, where I think a lot of podcasts are produced. That's not true. I'm not going to say that because it's just not true. But I'm a everyday person, and I am not, financially, like, I'm not free financially. Like, I have to budget. I got to be careful with my money. And I think there can be a lot of, with all the narratives being thrown around about coronavirus and a bunch of secondary stories that are being highlighted as the main concern, bunch of heavy carried opinions towards presidents, candidates, with Joe Biden electing his vice president as Kamala Harris. Just there's so much stuff going on there's so much stuff going on, and I think there's so much confusion that's being thrown our way. News stories that just really aren't that important. That the main concern is being forgotten about. And that main concern is economically, no one's speaking about it really, but we're in for it. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for many reasons, just jobs, people are still filing for unemployment. People are going back to work to businesses that may be open for a month, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, but then shutting down because you can't recover from the losses. Restaurants that were already, working off of a 30% profit margin are now at 50% capacity, even 75% capacity, which sounds good, but they're 75% capacity, assuming that they have all the same amount of employees and they're filling up to 75% just as well as they used to, then their 30% margin goes to a 5% margin, profit margin. And if they're at 50%, then, they're a negative 15. They're not making a profit, I mean, that's under the assumption that they don't remove employees, which there are removing employees to keep their margins, but unemployment goes up higher that way. It's a fascinating time. It's a strange time. It's a strange time because it seems like coronavirus should just be a virus, right? It should just be a medical phenomenon. It should be something that our scientists are focusing on, our top medical doctors are focusing on, our top virologists are focusing on, and our politicians are strictly taking the facts from our specialist and then implementing the facts and then changing them up as new information comes out, right? That should be the way that everything's handled, but everything's not handled like that because a lot of organizations have money in certain vaccines and certain medicines and certain news stories, and certain news organizations have ad revenue that has to be made, have certain advertisers that pay them, certain investors that pay them that need to get their kickback. And if you just spend all day on CNN or Fox and your whole cycle is just producing factual information that won't lead to any type of arguments against each other, then that content won't be watched. That content won't be consumed. I was listening to a podcast or a Instagram story or Instagram TV, IGTV, from Rob Bailey, who is the founder of the fitness clothing company called Flag Nor Fail. And he was saying how it can be, and it's really true. It's really true. So if you have a social media account, which all of us do, and if you use it to leverage yourself financially, or if you use it just so your family, your extended family can, get updates on your life, because I know a lot of people that use Facebook just for that reason, or if you're somebody who just feels like they really have to voice their opinion. I think there's a very fine balance with social media right now. There's a very unique thing going on, which I don't think people are fully aware of. When you are on, let's just say Instagram, for example, and you go to your discovery page. Well, your discovery page is mainly made up of things that you like. If you like food all the time, if you're into like those food porn things and like cheeseburgers and stuff, you'll see a lot of that. So like my Instagram feed is pretty much just financial stuff and then fitness stuff. A lot of workouts, a lot of financial things, stock market mainly, a lot of food stuff. So it's in that realm. So my Instagram is mainly that. Well, if you start going away from those things, let's say you decide one day you're angry about something that you saw on TV, and you want to look it up on Instagram. You look it up, you see it, and it pisses you off. Well, now you just change your whole algorithm. Your whole feed now is going to be completely different. And I think this is just for the discovery page. Like, I know for me personally, I don't use my Instagram feed. Like, when you first log into Instagram, you scroll down like that. I don't use that anymore. I just post. I use a discovery page and I just DM people back and forth. But social media used to be a platform. I remember the first thing I ever posted on Instagram was a moth in a corner, and I think I deleted it, which I shouldn't have. Maybe it's like in my drafts or something. And then it was like a cheese head. I think it was back in 2013, 3, 4. I would have been 16 years old. So maybe, yeah, I think it was around that time. I was in the Great Wolf Lodge in Columbus, Ohio. Then I uploaded a picture of a moth. I think I uploaded, an empty bowl of Chipotle. Me wearing anyways, I digress. But it used to just be a way that you showcase your life, right? That's what social media really was built off of. And now it's one of the main factors for swaying people's opinions. But if you go off the path of what you enjoy, Instagram will leverage that big time. And they will start posting things that you don't like more and more and more. Even if you only see it once. Even if, I don't think you even have to like it. I think you just have to view it. If you do that one time, the social media platform, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, Instagram. I don't think Snapchat really. TikTok. I know TikTok is really fucked. I think I talked about that a few podcast episodes ago, so I don't really want to speak about it again. But then they intentionally put things up there to piss you off, right? And they do that because that's how they make money. But I think not being aware of that is very dangerous. I think you have to be super duper aware of it. And I don't know, that was just kind of something I wanted to say. I also want to speak on college campuses for a second. I don't know if I really spoke about this before, but colleges are starting to go back. I know from my school, I'm at Towson University, which is in Baltimore, in Maryland, and I'm just on the assumption that we're 100% online. There are options to go to the classrooms. I will not be following up on those options simply because I want to make money and work as much as I can while also maintaining some type of organization for continuing with school. Therefore, I'm going to do everything online, but I'm taking like 5 classes and I'm going to be working like 40 hours a week. So it's going to be rough. But it's something that I honestly just feel like right now it is so fucking important to make money and save money and invest money and just really accumulate it right now, because I don't know what's going to happen. I can be completely wrong, but I could also be right. And I would much rather be right, or I would much rather be saving my money because we go into a really bad recession. I think it's already happening. See, I'm not always super positive, especially when it's raining like this. But colleges are going back, and I know a lot of my classes are like a maximum of 10 people in the classroom. You got to wear a mask the whole time. I think you have to get a test before you go back. And I've already had a test, and I came back negative. But I think you got to take a test before you go back. But I know a lot of colleges, like for Taylor, for example, her college is going back, and I think she's pretty much 100% online, but she also has in-person classes. But she is traveling, so she goes to Tech, and Tech is the city of Blacksburg is going to be fully packed with students. It's going to be fully packed with students. The ACC, the football organization, still has not, up until this point on the 13th of August at 11:43 a.m., they haven't canceled the season yet. I'm expecting it to change. I think they haven't, and the SEC hasn't done it yet. But everybody else, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, the Big 12. I don't fucking know. Who knows? They've already all canceled their seasons, so I expect the ACC to just join behind them. But everyone's going back to campus. People aren't going to be going to class, but the dorms are going to be filled. The townhouses are going to be filled. The fraternities are going to be filled. The sororities are going to be filled. And now the classes don't even go on, which I understand because they don't want to spread the disease or spread the virus. But everyone's going to be going back to school. So you're getting like these little towns. And it's not just Blacksburg. It's Morgantown for West Virginia. It's College Park for University of Maryland. These towns are going from 10,000 people to 50,000, 60,000, 80,000 to 100,000 people. You know, they're going up 10 times their normal population. And these are kids that are, for especially schools like Tech, people, international people from California, people from Texas and Florida, just people from all across the country are now traveling to these college towns. And these college towns, these kids are not going, they're just not going to listen. They're just not going to stop going to parties. They're not just going to stop going to bars. They're going to do what college kids do because they're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23-year-old kids, adults. And honestly, I want to say that's fucked up. Like, they're ignorant. They shouldn't be doing that. But it's so hard for me. I would hope I wouldn't do that. Like, I would hope younger me wouldn't do that. But I'm also just not sure. You know, I'm just not sure I would avoid it because I'm not allowed to. I think there's just something about being that age where you do things out of spite because you're not supposed to do it. Like, that's much more common. And that's like an issue with mainly everything. Everyone thinks that if they were in a certain position right now, they wouldn't be acting the way that somebody who is in the current position is acting, which is a bunch of fucking bullshit. I mean, nobody, like, I could veer off down that road, but I won't do that. But I am worried, you know, I am worried, not per se, once again, for myself, but I am worried about the economy again. I mean, colleges, I don't think colleges are going to last till, I think most colleges are going to be sending all their students back, which is even a fucking disaster too, like late September. Like, if I was taking all my emotions out of it and I was just looking at it from a very, very objective standpoint, I would say parents expect your kids back by late September and kids expect to be away from your colleges by late September. I know the colleges are saying we're not going to, after spring break, we're not going to have the kids come back, which, yeah, of course they wouldn't do that because the kids would be away from town. They would already be, you know, they would be bringing back anything that they picked up from their Thanksgiving break back to their campuses. But if you could take like a satellite map that could just pick up people who have coronavirus, I mean, starting in late August to early to mid-October, you're just going to see hotspots in all the college towns because these kids are still going to party. They're still going to, you know, get drunk in parties of 10, 20, 30, hundreds of people. There's just going to be no, and you're not going to regulate it. Like, how are you going to, it's impossible. Like, you're not going to be able to regulate what kids do. It's just not going to happen. You know, police officers are like stripped away from all the power nowadays, so they're not going to do it. Who's gonna enforce these rules? Who's going to enforce these kids to wear masks? Who's going to enforce any of this stuff? You know, the numbers are going to spike like crazy. The college towns are going to go crazy with numbers. And I think what's going to happen a lot is a lot of these college towns just aren't going to test. And they're not going to test because if you don't test, you don't have an issue, right? But if you do, once you start testing and you start getting positive results, well, then you have an issue. Otherwise, you just don't test, you know? And it's something that is slightly concerning. But at the same time, it's you can't blame them. You know, you just can't blame them. And I don't know. I'm not worried about it because, like I said, I'm just going to be online. I'm just going to be working. I don't know how I'm going to manage that schedule. It's going to be fucking nuts. And I said this, I think this is like my third semester doing the podcast, but I think I said this last semester, how busy I felt like already at that time going through college. I already felt super busy. It's kind of weird though. Lately I've been telling people, so my gym, a lot of people who I went to high school with are starting to come to the gym I work at. And we're just reminiscing. We're talking about just stories when we were in high school, and just that happens to be the subject. But we're mainly just catching up because years go by, people get new jobs. I have a friend who like works out in Afghanistan. You know, I have other friends who work in like rehab centers. They don't go to rehab; they work in a rehab center. I also have friends who are in rehab centers, just got out of rehab centers, and people just find their own paths. They find their own, their own lanes, which is what we're all expected to do. So I've just been catching up with people lately, and I don't know, what was I talking about? I don't know what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the way I was feeling. I feel it's weird being in college at 23 years old. I'm going to be graduating at 25 fucking years old. Isn't that insane? Yo, anybody out there who is thinking about saying screw school and just not go to school and, it's not for me. I don't need it. I'm embarrassed to go to it. I'm special. I don't need to do it. Well, look. This is just from my perspective. Someone who has struggled with deciding on anything in life. Like, if you think that school is the only thing I have issues deciding on, then you're completely you're delusional. Because I have a serious issue with just I don't have an issue with working hard. I work really hard on things, but I have an issue with like an attention span on focusing on something. I can focus. It's not that, but once I get a slight feeling of boredom, it's game over for me. I just won't do it. I just won't do whatever I was doing anymore. I'll completely stop. So if you're in college or if you're in high school, stay in school. Or here we go. If you have even a scale of 1 to 100 or 1 to 10, if you have even a 1 out of 10 feeling of I want to go to school, I want to go to college, stay in college. Even if the other 9 points is like, fuck this place, I don't want to be here, I don't need this shit. If you have that one sliver, even if it's 1/10 of 1 point, to stay in school, stay in school. Stay in school. And here's what I say. And if you're going to stay in school, work hard. Work really fucking hard. Study as much as you can. Find a degree that's fun, but also cross-study. Study your friends' notes. Have friends record lectures and listen to the lectures and just learn, become a sponge in school. Because you got to realize this is a place for 4 to 6 years. Society literally lets you become unemployed, have your own city. Parents pay for you to have your own city, your own apartment. Most parents, I guess it's like privilege that I just said that. But I think most families do, at least most families want to be able to do that for you. I don't know. I'm digging myself a hole. But it's 4 to 6 years where you can just become a human sponge. And it's so hard to realize that at that age, like between 15, 16, 17, when people are pushing college down your throat. Of course you want to push back. Because first of all, high school has been presenting it doesn't come off as fun. They don't actually tell you why you learn. They tell you to learn. And when I say they, I don't know who they is. I'm just saying they because it just comes out that way. They don't tell you why you should learn, what you need. They just tell you what you're going to learn, and the why they give you is to get to college. But they don't tell you about the extreme levels of confidence it gives you. They don't tell you about the beautiful, beautiful ability to converse and have conversations at a higher level with people so therefore your friendships become closer. They don't tell you about the stripping away of ignorance that you have towards certain cultures and certain ideologies and certain people in general, which make you a more fun human to be around. And they don't tell you about the self-fulfillment you feel as a person when you learn things that You never knew. Those are like the 4 pillars that I think will be achieved in your lifetime. And I think the best time to achieve them is during college. And I'm not saying go there for a degree. I'm not saying go there to find a career. I am just, and look, those are symptoms of having the flu. Like, those are symptoms of going to college. A symptom is a side effect. A side effect of going to college is you get a degree. Now, if that degree works for your occupation, great, brilliant. But it shows that you have grit, and it shows that you care. Use this time to go to the library and just read all the fucking books on the shelves. Use this time to have brilliant conversations with your professors. Use this time to make connections with people that are smart. If you are like, fuck, man, I kind of want to do like this vlog. I don't really know how to do a vlog. Go to the media department and start conversating with somebody, because I guarantee somebody in there is going to school to be a video editor, some type of media editor, some type of journalist, something that has something to do with, they're doing something that could help you in the future. Use college for that. And that's just my spiel. That's just what I think, because that's what I wish I took advantage of more. And it's something that I don't regret. I definitely don't regret it, because I've been able to build my own thing on my own because of it. Let me write this down. Shutting it down. Aspen. But it's something that I do think is super important for you to do. I really do. Once again, if you're doing it for the degree, I think that is not the right thing to do. I think for 85% of people, that would just strictly get you in trouble, because there's not a sense of fulfillment. I think there's not a boost to your confidence, and there's not a sense of pride. But if you're going to school to get a major in chemistry, read a history books. If you're going to school for world history, spend time listening to your friends or conversing with your friends who are going to school for chemistry. Or read the notes of somebody who's in school for neuroanatomy, or read the notes of someone who's going to school for math. I just think that's something I wish I did more of. I love being able to go to school now and being older and being able to realize that, having my my fogged glasses, and realizing this is what it's about, man. It's about staying after class and conversating with your professors. But I want to use these last 10 minutes here real quick of the show to it's bittersweet news. I think it's more, for me, it's I guess it's freeing would be the best way to say it. I guess a weight off my chest, maybe, I don't know, not a heavy weight, a very light weight, but still a weight off my chest. 4 years ago, I blindly went into the clothing business. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on a clothing business that I came up with in a history class. A business law class. I bought product. I designed my own clothing. I bought my shipping supplies. I found out how to market. I found a supplier. I figured out what a supply chain was. I figured out how to even make money on clothing. I figured out what SKUs were. I figured out how to get the right colors, how to get samples, how to just do everything. And it did well. It did well for me. It did well for somebody who didn't know what they were doing, didn't have a business plan. They just had a passion to do it. And it did well for me. I made my money back, plus some. I'm walking away. I just gave it away. I have no debt. I bought everything on cash. I learned the value of money. I transactioned thousands of dollars worth of my income from being a server at a restaurant, from being a busser, a dishwasher, a cook at a restaurant. I learned to value money, and I knew that when you give away money in large doses, what you get back should be worth more in value than what you spent. I learned how to market. I learned how to read analysis on websites, on your data to reach your market. I learned how to communicate with customers, and I built Silence Fitness. And when I did it, there was a time where it was the center of my life. You know, everything I did was for Silence Fitness. Every time I did a vlog, I made sure I talked about it. Every time I was wearing the outfits, I would get somebody around me and take pictures. I bought thousands of dollars worth of video equipment, photo equipment, cameras to take pictures of it, to promote it. I spent years getting in really good shape to promote my product. I had that burning desire. That desire started fading about a year ago. And then I stopped producing product. I just was sitting on inventory, and I kept the website up until a month ago. If you try to go to the website now, it's shut down. What I'm trying to say is I officially shut down Silence Fitness. I have to close down the business license in the state of Maryland, which I don't really know how to do that, but that's the epitome of everything that I've done with it. I didn't know what I was doing, but I did it, and I made money, and it was my first business. It was my first real legal business, aka I had it licensed. I had an accountant for it. I was paying taxes on it. It was my first real business, and I started it at a young age. I think I started it at 19 or 18 years old, maybe younger than that. I got to go back and look. I think I was 19, and it was stressful, and it was so rewarding, and it gave me a sense of pride, and it gave me, for a while there, was who I was. But it is shut down. I have closed it down. The website is no longer there. I still have inventory. If anybody wants any, just let me know. I'll just make everything like $20 cash. I'll just give it to you. But I didn't want to. I felt like I was hiding it. I was embarrassed. Shutting it down. So shutting it down. I was embarrassed to announce it. I felt like I fucked up. I went somewhere. I went wrong. And I think this is a super valuable lesson. I shut it down because I kept on having to spend money to keep my website up. And I was like, fuck. And I'm like a penny pinch right now. So like, I don't want to spend any extra money I don't have to spend. But I think this is a super valuable lesson. Just to spend 5 more minutes on this. I think this is a super valuable lesson. It's so cheesy. I made money. I worked hard. I understand the value of product. I understand the clothing industry somewhat. I understand it's fucking hell. It's so hard to get into because you think, oh, cool, I'm going to sell a shirt. But then you say, oh, cool, I'm going to sell a shirt, but I need extra small to 3XL. I need these colors. I need these samples. Oh, the sleeves don't fit. Oh, they're not long enough. Oh, the collar's too tight. Oh, the string's broken. Oh, the waistline's too wide. Oh, the waistline's too thin. Oh, the lines going down the back, they're very apparent after you wash them 3 or 4 times. What the heck? They're breaking after 6 washes. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And I'm thankful for all the support. Everyone who's taken photos, everyone who's bought product, everyone who's supported me, telling me good job, I'm proud of you. What you do is amazing. I thank everybody for that. But I am moving on from it. And the reason why I'm moving on for it is because the passion that I had was not there anymore. And I'm a big believer that once you lose passion for something, don't waste your time. If you're in a relationship like that, don't waste your time. If you're doing a business like that, don't waste your time. You have to cut ties. And I have to cut ties with it. And it hurts. It's like going through a breakup. You don't want to because, it's really actually hitting me right now because I spent thousands of dollars. I've spent hours telling people what it is, why I'm doing it, what does it mean. And there was times where it meant everything to me. But just, I'm sitting here right now and it's just not that way. It's just not, I don't have the same burning passion for it that I used to have. And it sucks, but I've learned how to run a business. This is my first, it's not a failure. I never really understood what people meant when they said, it's even your failures are not failures because it doesn't seem like a failure. I guess it's a failure in the sense that it's no longer up. I'm no longer selling stuff, but the values and the lessons that I'm walking away with are incomparable to everything that I've learned. I learned a lot, and I'm grateful for everyone who supported me. And it is no longer up and running. Like I said, if you do want anything, please just reach out to me and I'll give you stuff, just like $20, $15, $20. It doesn't matter. If you're really nice to me, you could probably give it for free. But it is hard for me to say. It's like I'm giving up something that I feel like I can just resurrect at any time. And I think I've been lying to myself for a while. And I think lying to yourself is the worst thing you can do to yourself, because then you can't look at yourself with the straight face in the mirror. And I think that's really, really bad and very dangerous. Very dangerous. But Silence Fitness from year 2016 or 2015 to 2020. It was beautiful. I loved every moment of it. I have so many memories with it. I have so many just beautiful times with it, and I don't regret any of it. I would do it again. I wouldn't do it again, but at the time, I would have done it again. If I had to do it all over again, I would have done it. I would have done it. Because I think the most important thing is I value money, which is, I think so many people just don't value money. But I value money, and I know what it can get me. I know what it can do for me. I know if I make it work for me, it will return on the investment I put into it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support, family, friends, everybody out there who supported Silence Fitness. I couldn't have done it without you. I couldn't have done it without the messages I got, without the following I got, without the love I got. Hey man, you're doing a good job. I'm proud of you. Wow, you're kicking ass. All that doesn't go unnoticed. And that's what made it so hard, is because all that, there's an investment, there's a capital investment, there's a money, there's a time investment, there's the emotional, mental, physical. It put a strain on my relationship, it put a strain on myself. Those are all investments, but I think the biggest investment, which is the most unspoken investment, is the feeling that I feel that you guys invested into me. And since you guys invested your time, your money, your hard-earned money, when you made $80 and you could have bought yourself a movie with you and your girlfriend and like a nice dinner at like Cheesecake Factory, nothing crazy, but you could have used that $80 for your entertainment, but you used it to buy sweatshirts and joggers and tank tops and shirts and pullovers from me, and 3/4 sleeves. And I think that's what makes it really hard, is the investment that other people put into it, and I feel like I'm like cheating on you. Like I'm telling you, no, like it's not going to happen anymore. That's what makes it really hard. In the same way that if you go through a breakup, or if you lose somebody in your life and you gave them so much time, you work so hard to try to maintain it. What the hardest thing about losing somebody like that is you invested so much of yourself into it, and it just didn't work out, and that's a bummer. But that's how I feel about Silence Fitness. But it's hard for me to say, and I'm honestly I'm embarrassed by it. I feel like I failed at times. I feel like I'm the one who fucked up, and I'm a bad business owner, and I'm bad with my money, and I went too long, and you're a piece of shit. Like that, those are the things that I get in my head, which I know they're just not that true. But I've learned a lot from it, and I won't stop. I already have more plans for more things I want to do in the future. It's the way I function. I just function. I feel like I'm the most creative person in an uncreative body, and I always want to make things and do things. And, but this is the podcast, and I love this, and this is my primary focus right now. And I'm so happy I found this, and I value this so much more because of Silence Fitness. But I won't be promoting it anymore. I might bring it up every once in a while to like talk about it, stories. But other than that, it is no longer there. The website is down. This is crazy. I've only told 3 people this, and now people, if you listen this far in the podcast, you now know about it. It's gone in my Instagram handle. I don't have it up there anymore, but that's how the cookie crumbles, right, man? That's life. I just threw the pen on the ground. Hopefully I didn't break your ears. That's life. I'm gonna take a swig of my Crystal Light. This is 0-calorie Crystal Light, but still artificial sweeteners. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. Be good to yourself, people. Keep on doing your thing. Stay positive, even during times of uncertainty. I think this is the most important time to be positive. Another thing I wanna mention real quick is no matter what happens in the world, no matter what goes on, whatever you see on the news, whatever you see on social media, whatever you see happening around you externally, what's happening to you internally is controlled by the way you're reacting to what happens externally. So the way that you deal with your emotions and the way that you feel in your gut and in your heart and in your brain is because you're perceiving the external world a certain way. So if you fix that, then everything else will seem okay. And on top of that, if the people next to you are doing well and everyone seems happy, then goddamn, dude, I'm pretty sure you're doing well. And I could be wrong. I could easily be wrong. But for me, I know I'm right because that's the way I view it. No matter how much shit's going on in this world, if I'm reacting to it in a negative way, I will have negative thoughts and I will be a negative person. But if I react to it in a very controlled manner, then I won't have that. Also, focus on the ones around you. Focus on yourself. Save your money. Be smart right now. I love you so much, everybody. I'll catch you. That was very adoring. I love you. But damn, dude, we're moving into 100 episode of 115. I got a pop-up on my Instagram. 1 year ago today, episode 10 went up. And 1 year, we did 105 episodes. You won't stop me, motherfuckers. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys in episode 115. Have a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday and hump day, and I'll see you Thursday. See ya.